Here at Peace Lutheran. See, at Peace Lutheran, we are excited about a lot of things. Most of all, we are excited about our faith in Jesus and how it impacts our lives. And we want to share this excitement, and we want to invite you to become part of it. You know, and when it comes to the season of purpose, the foundation of the season of purpose is a realization that Jesus has called us. Light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. See, there is that aspect of faith that impacts our individual lives. And as a result of that faith, we experience that peace that is larger than all understanding, that joy, that happiness, that purpose. There's another element of faith that impacts our relationships within our own family and circle of friends. But then Jesus takes it a step further and say, you know, faith is not just about how it impacts you as an individual. Faith is not just about within your own family. I want you, my followers, to go out in the communities where you live and to be my light, to transform the community, to serve, to go wherever I lead you, and to truly become a blessing for the people. So the season of purpose at Peace is this. We challenge everyone part of Peace, friend or member or just a visitor once in a while, to dedicate 2 days each month to serving the community. And to facilitate this, we at Peace are building relationships, you know, with community organizations that are already working the ground, working in the community, transforming the community. And this afternoon, I have 2 amazing ladies from the Salvation Army here. Shalla, is that how I pronounce your first name?
Yes.
Shalla, you are the Director of Advancement. Is that your official title?
Director of Development.
Director of Development, I apologize. And Kris Volpone here was the Director of Volunteer Services.
Yes, sir. Thank
All
you.
right. Now, the Salvation Army, probably the most visible, well-known aspect of what you're doing is around Christmas, the bell ringing, and everyone sees people, you know, with the Salvation Army, a container, you know, collecting donations, and Peace has been very active in that for quite a while. But the Salvation Army is obviously doing so much more ministry than ringing bells during the Christmas time. And I was so impressed, Kris, when you gave me the tour of the Center of Hope, I think you called this in downtown Fort Myers.
Yes, sir.
And you gave me an idea about some of the programs. So if you can just give us maybe a very brief overview about the different ministries, you know, that you are running there that are really impacting the people in Fort Myers.
Yes, sir. What we visited was not only the Center of Hope, which is our residential shelter, but we also visited a building, it's new to us. It's called the Homeless Resource Day Center. And that's where we reach out to the homeless that are currently living homeless in our community. We serve a lunch Monday through Friday. That's an opportunity for our Peace friends. And also a dinner every evening, Monday through Friday. Both are opportunities for our friends here at Peace Lutheran. What we've started, Pastor, at your direction, was we've cultivated a liaison, and that will be Carolyn
Yakovich, yes, yes.
Sorry.
Yes, yes.
So she will be able to make that organization and bring a group from
Right.
Peace to whether the lunch or the dinner.
Right, so that is one of the very specific direct applications for the people who are part of Peace to serve. Starting in October, 1 day a month, it might be, we haven't quite decided yet whether it will be the lunch or the late afternoon dinner time, but a team of Peace will be coming to the homeless, what is the official name of that? Homeless
Resource Day Center, and actually the evening meal has its own title, and it's called the Red Shield Diner.
Very nice. So a team from Peace will come and will prepare the meal and come out there and then serve it. And if I remember right, you are serving anywhere between 50 to 70 people per time slot.
Yes, sir, your memory is infallible.
Wonderful. But you're doing so much more. I was so impressed. Give us an idea about now looking at the 57 people. Who are they? Who are the folks who are coming, and taking advantage of the lunch or the dinner?
Well, again, they are the current homeless that we're serving, those that don't stay with us residentially. But we do also have a residential shelter. We have a family unit there, and we also have a corrections program, which focuses on both a federal and a state contract. So we help those that are struggling in their recovery from substance use, and that's what our corrections program focuses on. In addition to that, we have our food pantry building that is just now switching to a choice pantry, and that will begin this coming Monday. We also have 2 family stores that support our programs, and those are in South Fort Myers and one in Cape Coral.
Now, when you mentioned there's a residential shelter that you have, who are the families, the individuals who are living there residentially?
They are folks that have come to us through the coordinated entry program that we collaborate with Lee County Human Services with. And they have been homeless. Their families, typically mothers with children, some intact families. Quick sidebar, initially pre-pandemic, in my experience with the Salvation Army, I had encountered only 2 intact families in the 12 years before the pandemic.
Who were staying at the residential shelter?
Intact. And when I say intact family, I mean mom, dad, and children. Since the pandemic, I have lost count, more than the fingers on both hands, intact families that have come through the family shelter. I find that heart-wrenching because it means that intact families are having difficulty through this time.
So, and I want to highlight and emphasize this. So, the time you're living in right now, post-pandemic, the issue of homelessness, the issue of, finding a place to live is no longer just limited to what we would have considered years ago to, the homeless or, a broken family and, some of these dynamics that contribute to it. Now we see families. You used the word intact families. There's both parents there, there's kids there, and they can no longer find a place to live. Do I hear this right?
That's what I'm seeing, but I think
Yes.
as far as actual statistics and factual information, that Shalla probably has a little more on than I do.
Yes, and I remember, Shalla, when we visited, you shared with me one of the biggest issues that we are facing in Lee County. People living here is now the working poor. People who are working a full-time job, making $13, $14 an hour, working 40 hours plus overtime, but that's nowhere close enough, sufficient to be able to afford an apartment, a condo, any place to live in Fort Myers.
No, Pastor. We are seeing a rise in the type of homeless folks that are utilizing our services. We are seeing, as Kris said, intact families. We're seeing families that are working 1 or even 2 jobs that no longer can afford the rent. Either the rent has gone up so high that they can't afford it, or if they move to a different place, they can't afford the down payment, the first, the last, and the security deposit to get into a place. So a number of these families are living in the shelters, they're living on the streets, they're living in their cars, but they're still working. So yes, we have quite a quickly growing population of working poor.
And Shalla, I remember when we visited, you mentioned, drive around to abandoned parking lots, kind of big box stores, big lots or whatever else. And when you see the kind of an older, RV or something along those lines, make no mistake, those are not vacationers here to enjoy the beach. Those are working poor people. That's where they live. And ever since you shared this with me, I have been doing this, keeping my eyes open, and I was just shocked. I think that's the only word. I mean, it's hard to drive by any parking lot and not seeing it right now. It's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is, and it's not just RVs, but you're seeing minivans and sedans and almost any kind of vehicle that runs on the road. And these folks are just trying to find a place that's safe and secure. Sometimes they can spend part of the night and then they get moved on to someplace else because police will come in and move them on. But they are then getting up the next morning, they're getting their kids to school, and they're going to work, and they're doing all of it out of their car.
Now, this probably sounds like a naive question. When they send their kids to school, where do they hygiene, where do they wash, where do they get the kids ready for some of the most basic needs?
In some cases, they may go to public parks and that sort of thing, or even a public restroom in, say, Walmart. But at our Homeless Resource Day Center, we offer the opportunity for folks to come in, they sign up, they take a shower, they do their laundry. So that's in addition to getting, say, lunch and dinner, but they can come and do those sorts of things as well as getting some assistance with their resume, creating their resume, or looking for a better job. They even have life skills classes that are being used to help folks that are either on the verge of homelessness or in homelessness to try to help them move towards a stable living situation.
I forgot, one of you ladies shared with me that Lee County considers $1,700 a month rent to be affordable housing. Do I remember this correctly?
Yes, and that's really quite low.
That $1,700 a month considered affordable housing, and that's low. So, you know, you almost need to have a job of $20 an hour or higher to be able to just pay rent without even going into anything else.
Without adding on the utilities, the cost of groceries, which again has gone up, the cost of gas. If you're working, say, we see a fair amount of people who work in Naples, but they cannot afford to live in Naples.
That's even higher price than Fort Myers
Much higher.
would be.
So they live here in the Fort Myers-Lee County area. So they've got to pay for their gas to get down there. So it's staggering.
So what is the way out? How does the way forward look like? No, that's a big question, I understand.
That's a very big question. For us, we encourage them to continue to improve their life. We have a new program that's new to our area, but not new to the Salvation Army, called Pathway of Hope. And it works with families, intact or, but it has to be a family, a mom and kids, dad and kids, full family, where we take them, and some of these families have been in poverty for generations. We call it generational poverty. And we show them ways to get out of that, ways to simply make a roasted chicken go for 3 meals.
Yeah.
How to sew their clothes so that they can get them to last longer, how to budget, how to write a resume. These are basic life skills that, you know, Kris and I maybe had in home ec in high school, or that aren't taught nowadays. And so there's this disconnect with how to just survive and to make things stretch a little farther. And that program will work. We will work with these families to teach them these things so that they can continue to move forward, to save a little more, to maybe look, if they're working in Naples, maybe look and see if there's something in this area so they're not traveling. How to kind of think outside the box for them.
Now, bringing it back, you know, as being the pastor for peace, when you just mentioned, you know, being a congregation with a substantial number of retired business executives, entrepreneurs who ran their own business, it seems like there is a great serving opportunity there, because there truly seems to be the need for just teaching some basic skills, you know, yes, some very basic skills, but then also maybe building upon that. It just seems like this one-to-one mentoring element probably could make a difference for a lot of folks there.
That is possible, and we hope in the future to get to that level. All our caseworkers are trained in this program,
right.
And members of the Army congregation will soon be able to help out. I worked in this program at a different corps when I was at that corps and did some of those kinds of things. But there's so many opportunities for members of Peace Lutheran to be involved. As Kris mentioned, we have our meals. But our new Choice Food Pantry is an excellent way to get involved because it gives you more of a one-on-one feeling with some of these folks. Our volunteers will be helping them shop. What a Choice Pantry is it's set up like an Aldi store, except we don't charge. So it helps give back the families the dignity of being able to shop for their family, being able to select items that they would use, not just a box that they're open and say, well, I can't eat peanut butter, for example.
Right.
Volunteers will be helping them shop. Volunteers will be helping stock. Volunteers will be helping getting special products that maybe aren't out front, but after talking with the clients, they know, okay, this is a family of 5, but they don't eat pork, so we'll supplement fish and beef, and those kinds of things. And so this is going to be a great opportunity for folks to get involved.
Okay.
And also, I know it's really early, but one of the opportunities that's very exciting is Good Turn Saturday. It's the first Saturday of December, so I know it's early.
Right.
But this is a food packing event like no other. We not only put together, but pack thousands of boxes of food that we will use for Christmas distribution, and it's a challenge.
Okay.
And so it's a lot of fun, and it's an all-ages, family-friendly event.
Okay. That sounds amazing.
It's going to be fun, and it's the first Saturday of December, and it's usually a real blast.
And it's in the morning, so we're usually done by shortly after lunch, so the rest of the day is free for
Right.
other things.
And you mentioned and thousands and thousands of boxes of food, and there's a need. I mean, all of these, you have no leftover, so to speak. They're all being given away.
We distribute toys through our Angel Tree program to probably about 4,500 children. And so you think about the families that accept those toys, and they also get the food box that goes with it, that gives that whole package of a Christmas meal, of Christmas joy. And then we also have food boxes that go to our seniors and some of our veterans that don't have kids but still need that nourishment at the Christmas season. So yes, we're packing a lot of boxes.
Well, it just sounds incredible. As you said, if you give away 4,500 toys, so to speak, that probably translates to 3,500 families. Might be, families with more kids. That is just a staggering number of families, that are being blessed by these ministries, and so we will definitely put this on our calendar, and start recruiting. And it sounds like it is one of these opportunities where I started in the Bible out to just let your light shine. Don't worry about who will come to that light. Just let it shine, and you will be a blessing, for people, and leave the rest up to God, Just be a blessing without worrying about anything else. And these just sounds like wonderful opportunities. All right, so now you mentioned, Kris, when you showed me, around, so there is a residential shelter, and you have caseworkers, and then, you have this food program, and then you have the basic life skills class. I don't know if that's a correct term, so what other programs, are there other programs that you are still running from the Homeless Resource Day Center, right? That was a correct title.
Well, we do collaborate with other agencies there as well.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. We collaborate with, actually, I'm going to maybe lean on Shalla, Centerstone? Cornerstone, who provides some mental health counseling and that sort of thing. And of course, the Lee County Human Services has a table there because they are the entry point for housing. So
Lee County is utilizing the homeless resource centers there from you guys.
Yes, they do. They have folks there, and we have several nooks and crannies for various agencies. I think I'm going to turn to Shalla to see if there's something I'm missing.
We're still working with some of the other agencies to get a few more services involved. There are some different agencies that provide medical support, or as Kris, the Salus Care, I think it is. Okay. Get some medical services available. Very basic. We are working to get some more organizations involved in that, maybe have an afternoon here or a morning there for folks who are in desperate need. We also partner, even though not through maybe the HRDC, but we partner with other organizations, the Homeless Coalition, Lee County Homeless Coalition. We just did a partnership with them they had what is called the Flow Bus. It's a bus that goes around and helps people on the streets get an ID so that they can get a job, so they can get an apartment. And we partnered with them and Grace Church and a few other organizations in the area on a day to get these things in place for people.
You know, what I am excited about, so we have these very specific applications for peace, you know, serving once a month, you know, whatever that specific day, and our Carolyn Mijakovic will be the team captain, now, and will recruit here at Peace, you know, and have a good number of folks there. Very much looking forward to the first Saturday in December, that packing event there, but it sounds like there is many, many more opportunities in different areas, and just to learning about this and to being able to see this and see where the Holy Spirit will take this, that is truly exciting. Listening to you, Shalla, but you know, the picture from the Bible that came to mind is when Jesus spoke about, you know, that the harvest is ready, you know, but the laborers are few, you know, and truly there is an overwhelming longing and need in the community of Fort Myers. And you know, even in an affluent area like where Peace is located, you just have to drive 2 minutes, and if you keep your eyes open, if you keep your heart open, if you keep your ears open, you realize the need is overflowing. And it really falls back on us as followers of Jesus. Okay, you have called us, Jesus, to let our light shine, so let's put this into practice. And I'm just really excited about this opportunity to learn from, you know, the Salvation Army, you two ladies, you know, who have done this for decades, you know, or many, many years, you know, so, and to see where the Holy Spirit will take this. Well, thank you very much for making time this afternoon. Is there something from your side, Kris or Shalla, that you would like to add or would like to say?
Well, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come and share with your
Yes.
congregation. But I'd also like to add that after the Christmas food packing, there's also several days of Christmas distribution where the families will come and Mom and Dad will pick up the packages that we have put together. And those are a lot of fun too. And that is what we call a casual volunteer opportunity, where a volunteer can just sign up and not go through the onboarding process.
Yes.
So and it's fun. It's just plain fun.
You know, and we are rolling the season of purpose out virtually because so much of this area and Peace as a congregation is very seasonal. So a lot of our Snowbirds members are still enjoying the few weeks that are nice up in Minnesota and Wisconsin, you know, the northern parts. You are from Iowa, Shalla, right? You know, you remember
Yes.
the 3 months of summer when it's fine and beautiful, and then it just the bottom drops out.
Then it snows.
And it snows forever. So, you know, and my hope is, Shalla, Kris, to bring you ladies back, you know, maybe in November or, you know, December, when we'll just have many, many more people in person here, and then talk more about and reflect on some of these first, you know, serving opportunities that we have, you know, partnered with, and to continue to develop this relationship. So.
Absolutely, Pastor, and we're open to talking to the whole congregation, or even just to your youth groups, your Luther leagues, your
You're a traditional Lutheran. You would not use the phrase Lutheran League unless you were born and raised in a Lutheran church, Shalla. That just betrayed, just revealed your upbringing.
I know. Well, and then the Sarah Circle and the North. So, but you know, sometimes it's nice to have a smaller group where
Yes.
people feel a little more comfortable asking questions and learning a bit better.
We will bring you back in many different varieties, but people of Peace, friends, members, guests, even if you are none of the above, just want to join in the season of purpose. Starting in October, we will be serving one day a month We'll still need to figure out lunch or late afternoon dinner time at the Homeless Resource Center in downtown Fort Myers. It's 2400 Edison, right? If I remember the physical address.
The main building, yes,
The main
is
building.
2400. And then the Homeless Resource Day Center, we use initials, HRDC, is 2450. But we have a 4-city block campus there, so
Yes.
yeah.
And then the first Saturday in December, the serving, the food packing, celebration party, whatever the phrase be, and there will be more opportunities, in the works. So please join us in the season of purpose. The season of purpose is not about theoretical ideas or agendas. The season of purpose at peace will be about what Jesus called us. Let your light shine. Let the people will see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. That is what we are about. That's what the season of purpose will be about. And I'm very excited to see how God will be leading us and versus how the Spirit of God will use this work. Thank you for watching. Have a blessed afternoon.